Force Revolution.
Welcome to Krishnapunk Flat Earth Part 2. It's my son that encouraged me to do a follow-up on this, so if he's watching, hi Keshav. So last week or so we went to Frankie's Pizza gig in the city, in Sydney this is, to see some bands, friends of ours, Shit Tinnies, a band called The Kids, who like young kids, are turned 18, it was his birthday, they've been playing since they were 13. Incredible energetic sort of punk band. Anyway, I saw a sort of friend of acquaintance of mine who'd commented on a Facebook post in a group I organised against the lockdown, musicians in Australia against the lockdowns which are going through the coronavirus pandemic. And so someone had trolled that page. I think it's all any of mine made a fake profile, pretended to be Chinese, and he went down there causing all this drama, and he tried to divert it to racism, and he got in a couple of arguments with a couple of other people. One friend of mine just totally shut that down, but then he carried on and he rattled another guy and got this vaguely racist comment out of there, and then he went on the Australian punk forum saying, oh, don't join this group, you know, this guy, he's racist. And so yeah, it's a typical diversion tactic. So this girl I know, she commented saying, I know this guy, I don't necessarily agree with all his opinions and views, but I didn't think racism was one of them. So I went up to say, yeah, I saw your comment, I didn't want to make a further comment and, you know, keep the thread going. I didn't want to deal with these sort of people. So in the course of the conversation with her, this guy sitting just to the side of her, sort of older punk dude, I guess in his 50s, sort of shaved head with a mohawk with funny colour, you know, typical, you know, sort of punk. He leans over to me and he says, the earth is round, you fuckwit. And excuse the language, but that's exactly what he said. And like, I mean, a lot of people would have different responses to that. I mean, some people would just give a fist in the face, but you know, anyway, I tolerated that aggression as best as I could. And I thought for a second, and I thought, okay, and I went back and it was very loud in there. I went right up to his ear, whispered in his ear, yeah, it is round and flat, like a coin. And then, I can't remember what else he said to me, but then I said to him, have you seen the earth? Have you seen it? And he says, yeah, everywhere. And I was like, what do you mean everywhere? No, have you actually seen it? Everywhere meaning, oh, the TV? Oh, so you've seen pictures of the TV, you've seen videos on the TV, you haven't actually seen it. So anyway, the conversation didn't last long, it was a waste of time, and I soon shut that down. And you know, someone starting with such aggression like that. But this goes to show that people are believing simply what they're presented. They're presented an image of where you think you live by an organisation, NASA, extremely dodgy organisation. When you look into it, you can see some other videos that go into that. Many people are now waking up and realizing the massive deception. You know, they're 20 billion tax dollars a year giving us just CGI, and they're very badly done a lot of times. So when someone says they've seen the earth, well, no, you haven't. You've only seen images. You've seen photoshopped images. They admit they have to use Photoshop in the images. You can see the cloud stamp tool. I work in Photoshop, say that all the time. You see the same cloud, the same one's there and there and there. That's strange, isn't it? So therefore we can't just believe what we see, because technology can bamboozle us with an image. Like if you go to the movie and watch, you know, some kind of, say, space adventure or something like that, you don't walk out thinking that was a documentary, it's real, it's just make-believe. So, you know, and as technology gets better, it's much more easy to fool people. That's all they're doing. They're taking a certain portion of that money and they're putting it into production. It's just a show, it's a production. And you know, it's not even a very good one. You know, people are pointing out the flaws. I suggest everyone will go in and look at all these different people's videos and showing the flaws, because there shouldn't be any flaws in these videos. But as soon as you see flaws, and there's endless flaws in them, the ISS supposedly rotating around the Earth at 17,500 miles an hour. So many flaws in it. You know, it's just trickery, camera trickery. Lots of different ways they do that. So it's endless. It's a very lengthy topic. It can take hours and hours. It takes years of research to really understand that. I'm about 5 years in now, and I'm pretty convinced that, you know, it's all a lie what they've shown us, and the Earth is flat and stationary. Water shows that. It always finds a flat level. When you take a journey to another country, you always just fly in a straight line. There's no sort of curving around, going upside down underneath the ball. And it's neither is it rotating. That presents all sorts of problems if we're now rotating. It's a very still day here. If we're rotating at like 800 miles an hour, 1,000 miles an hour, well, the air has to be all moving with us, and it's completely nonsensical. It's Occam's razor. The simple fact is, no, we're stationary, and the Earth's flat, and the reason it's dark on the other side now, my family in the UK, is dark because the sun's localized. The sun's above me over here, and then as it travels around a flat plane in a circle, it gradually goes in the distance, and that's why it goes gradually dark. It's not disappearing behind the curve of some kind of ball. We just have to get this idea, this belief, out of our heads and see reality for what it is. So yeah, I encourage everyone to think about that with an open mind. You don't blindly believe. Like, why we blindly believe in a ball and someone says no, it's not a ball, and people will fight to the death. This is the 2 or 3 people I've had now in the punk scene. This series is sort of related to punk because I grew up on punk, and punk actually sort of introduced me to all sorts of ideas. It taught me to think for myself, question authority, the government, school, everything, all these things. And that's what the essence of it is, really. It led me to everything. It even led me to our spirituality, which further opened my eyes about reality and what the purpose of everything is. Everyone's walking around literally sleepwalking. They don't really know what's going on, what the purpose is. And now they're in fear even more with this pandemic. They're using so much reason to, again, divide people, keep them in fear, stay inside. There's never anything about stay healthy, do yoga, eat well, be wholesome. There's none of that. Get in the sun, get your vitamin D. There's none of that. It's all rubbish. It's all just, you trust what we're saying, and we'll save you. And yeah, unfortunately people just blindly watch the TV. So it's the same thing with the globe. We only really believe in it because we've been told it over and over and over again. And that's just propaganda. It's like the Nazi propaganda. They just keep saying the same thing over again until you believe it. It's just been drilled in. So now we have to, each individual one of us has to drill it back out again with knowledge. And don't worry, don't fear that. It's liberating when you realise that you've been lied to. Initially it's difficult, but once you get over that, then you're free of those shackles. So anyway, thanks for watching. Peace. Hare Krishna.